Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's part 46 today and we are back for what in context to this season is a massive moment. Because we've got away games today against 9th place QPR, who are just 6 points behind us, and 12th place Birmingham, who have dropped off a bit but are still a good side. And between now and the end of the season, we face no sides placed higher than QPR are at the moment. So, looking forward to the end of the season, with us currently just 1 point off the playoffs and 3 points off Sheffield Wednesday, if we do get positive results from this one and can start to get people fit again, this is potentially a playoff opportunity and a really good one as well. I know that the top four of the league are far better than the rest and Palace would be very difficult as Wolves and Watford are. But to be in that top six after joining a side in 20th on the day we took over, that would do absolute wonders for the CV, especially looking for that big Premier League move in the next couple of years. So if you're looking forward to all of that, a big double header, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from 2 long-term stories. Of course, Derby very active in a transfer window in real life. You can see a link to our podcast review in the eye above. Championship content galore over there. Plenty of Derby content this season as well. And thank you so much for your incredible support across both. I really do appreciate it. But today we start with Derby QPR. We've got to go and look at how we've been getting on off camera. And we've only played sort of 6 or 7 games. And we've done alright, to be honest. We've played that sort of run of games against the top 6 in the league. And we've largely got points off them, which has been great. So you were with me for Wolves and West Brom. A brilliant win in the latter of those 2 games. And if anything, our away form continued to be the better throughout February. So we beat Barnsley 3-2. 2 late goals almost cost us, but Archie Brown off the bench and Callum Morton's brace got us the victory. You know we're 3-2 specialists in this save, don't you? 3-1 defeat though at home to Sheffield Wednesday, a very good side in the top 6. Jacob Hall with a late consolation, but they wiped the floor with us apart from that. Away at Millwall though, we recovered, the side directly above us, a great victory there by the same score. Callum Morton with a hat-trick, becoming an absolute superstar for me. A 1-1 draw against third place Palace. Look who scored their goal. From the live stream series with Dundee United, Ted and Mengi's the hero. And again, linked to the Real Life podcast channel and Championship predictions, Ted and Mengi has just joined Derby on loan in real life. Callum Morton got the goal for us and it was a point gained if nothing else. Against Watford away from home, a narrow defeat against the soon-to-be champions. We nearly clung on. What we did for this game, because it was so many in quick succession, we rested the whole first 11, went with a backup team, sat there for a point, and we were stoppage time away from it. It was so close, it was so frustrating, but in the end it wasn't to be. However, we've started this month with back-to-back 2-0 wins, and we haven't been keeping many clean sheets since I've joined this club. But against Rotherham, Morgan Whittaker with a brace, he's just left Derby in real life for Swansea. And at home to Rotherham, the same man again is on absolute fire at the moment. He played through the middle in part of that game, and he really did a good job up there. So 2 2-0 wins, we'll take another couple today, but on the road, we know it's going to be far more difficult. So let's go and get into the first of them. A big 2 games coming up for this club. And of course, we should have our youth intake in between the 2 as well. So let's go and get into it. It is QPR v Derby. And basically, if QPR win it, they're back in a playoff hunt. If we win it, we've knocked them out and we could finish in the top 6. So plenty of players to close down. Let's have a look at the lineup we've gone for. Because despite some injuries in recent times, we have got some positive news. Callum Morton's coming back to injury and form. Morgan Whittaker, you've seen, is flying this month. Jacob Hall is back into the side and getting sharpness into him. Bielik's back on the bench after his long-term hip injury, and he's starting to improve again in training already. Jonathan Leko's back to fitness. We've had a couple of slight knocks where people have come back, and Samuels is back from his suspension. So really, we're near enough there at full strength now. We've just got to get fitness into some of the legs. And in terms of the running, we could be peaking at the right time. So the lineup for today as a result of all of that is Marcin Bulker in goal, Messina and Cash are the fullbacks with Lenihan and Clark at centre-half, Ben Pearson in the holding role, just gone to Bournemouth in real life I believe, Jason Knight and Max Bird the midfield too. We've accidentally gone to a different page, but Hall and Whittaker are still the wingers, and Callum Morton the goal machine up front. I wonder if he's starting to catch the top scorers in the league. The top scorers are on 21 and he's now 4th on 16. So at the rate he's going since we've joined the club, I wouldn't bet against him being top of the pile at the end. Let's go and get into the first game of the day. We're starting to look like a strong squad now. and on the road against a very good side. Our job is to make sure we don't get beaten. Well, pretty much the only one of the starters from the start of the series in this Queen's Park Rangers side are the front two, which is Samuel and Dykes. I say Samuel's obviously gone off to Turkey in January in real life. Lyndon Dykes still there. Macaulay Bond's on the bench. There's a couple of quality players there. But this is a chance for us. It's a QPR side that have been overperforming. And this Derby side, we said it had potential. It finished just outside the playoffs last year. The form since we've been at the club would have had us in second or third, which is frustrating. We would have been there chasing with Wolves and Palace. But as it is, we've got defending to do here. Asai Samuel with a shot just wide from distance. Great effort with 10 on the clock. And as it stands, it's been a good start for QPR. We're still hanging on. And a 0-0 draw in what's on paper our hardest game before the end of the season. I'd probably take it. As the corner comes in, the throw-in, headed away, and as far as Cash, now Pearson, just in front of the centre circle, back to Clark, the centre half. He's got time on the ball, switches right to Jacob Hall. The defender misses the interception. Hall to the byline, back to Cash. Had a brilliant spell from right back. Finds Jason Knight, delivers to Whittaker. Oh, 2 braces in a row, and he nearly started his third there. Just wide of the post, a first really good chance from a highlight. But as it stands, it's still 0-0, and with half an hour gone, we're on the front foot again. Messina finds Pearson and Bird. We're playing almost exclusively in their final third here, and even a clearance is blocked. Morton finds Whittaker. Got the left back outside him. Doesn't need him. It's into Morton. Was that not a penalty? Is Whittaker being punished there for staying on his feet by the looks of it? The free corner comes in from Bird. Knight flicks it on, and O'Hara's able to deal with it. But I'm sure Whittaker's been punished there because he didn't fall over the challenge. 10 minutes to the break though, we're still on the front foot and we're starting to get a foothold in this game. Messina with a through ball, intercepted by Rob Dickey, and up long downfield to Lyndon Dykes. Holds it up well, back into midfield, excellent target man play. The defenders missed the header, the second one slid in. That is a very rare, awful moment for our back four. Matt Clark went up, completely missed the header. Lenihan flew in aggressively, got nowhere near the man. And Lyndon Dykes slides it into the corner. 1-0 to QPR from their first shot on target. And that's a bit of a concern. We haven't done that too often. As Max Bird's got a corner, can we recover? Quickly in towards Hodge, who heads away. Back to Matty Cash, out to Bird again. We could do with the equaliser before the break. And into Whittaker at the back post. He is a machine at the moment. Bird delivers, Whittaker finishes. And we saw he's got braces in his last 2 games. And we'd love it if he could complete one today too. On the stroke of half time, it's 1-1, but QPR are back on the front foot. 45th minute, and it's back to Offord on the right. Chance to get to the byline here. He's into the box. We can't really touch him. Back to Deal, who shoots. Oh, defensively, it's all going wrong. We said back-to-back clean sheets before this game, but on the road, we're having a bit of trouble with QPR here. At half time, we trail 2-1. A few of the boys are struggling mentality-wise here. So I'm going to say I'm far from pleased. It's the right response. We've got them motivated. Now we need the reaction in the second half. Let's see if we get it. Well, here we are on the left-hand side. Messina's given it straight away from the throw-in. And the second goal scorer Deal goes downfield. Lyndon Dykes has beaten Clark to it again. It's been a pretty off-colour performance at the back. Asai Samuel puts the cross in. And it is 3-1 to QPR. We are on course for our heaviest defeat since joining. And this has been a pretty disastrous display, particularly at the back. We've just looked absolutely awful. It's been a long time coming, but I hope this isn't the start of a poor run. As Lyndon Dykes flicks on the goal kick, Matty Cash gets there. Now can our front three, bail us out towards the end, as Hall gets it from Morton on the right. Chance to cross from the byline. Whittaker's there. Oh, he completes the brace, does he? No! How's that saved? The rebound surely had to go in. O'Hara's made an unbelievable save. Whittaker's given him the chance. And with 35 to go, how that wasn't 3-2, I don't know. And I think that's probably the sign we have to take that this isn't going to be our day. Hall's going to have to come off soon because he's not match fit again yet. Pearson's had a shock up. We can get minutes into Bielik. So it's not a lost cause. It's not a wasted game. But it could get ugly if we carry on like this. Asai Samuel back to Vale on the left. Asai Samuel into the box. Poku down. It's a shot from the edge of the box. It's 4. I don't think we've conceded 4 in the whole time I've been here. And that includes the FA Cup game against Premier League Leeds where we lost 3-0. This is a really alarming performance, this. And I'm not quite sure what to make of it. Because we've not been outplayed. We've not been dominated by any stretch. but at the back we've collapsed, and it is a very alarming sign. Hall gets it wide to Cash on the right. Out to Knight, who loses out again, somehow recycles for Bird. That's a brilliant goal. Maybe 4-4 still on. 35 minutes to go, we're still in this game. Let's go and make a couple of changes. Messina replaced by the January signing Samuels. Pearson will be replaced by Bielik, back from injury. Just going to put him as an anchor man. Try and give us that solidity there. And then we'll save the last sub, because in 5 minutes we'll have to take Hall off. 25 to go then. Hall's run his course. Lecco is on for him. Been in poor form actually in recent weeks. But look at the stats. Their expected goals is less than 1. And they've got 4. We've had 9 shots on target. Ours is nearly 2. We've got 2. But with 7 minutes to go, we've got to go all out attack. I mean, I'd rather lose 6-2 than 4-2. We've got a good goal difference, and I know we've got to bear that in mind. But we want to fight our way back into it. It's not going to happen as it is, because we're into 4 minutes of stoppage time, and QPR are going to hold on for a 4-2 win here, I think. Morton chases a throw down the line, but that's about to be it. This will be the last highlight, and we're not going to get a point out of this game. A very worrying start to the episode. The first time we've conceded 4. Some awful individual errors at the back. An injury now to Samuels as well, as Lecco gets in with a great individual goal. I guess that's one positive. We've ended a bit of a goal drought for him. But it's a 4-3 defeat. A bizarre game. I guess classic QPR, you could say. They're often the entertainers. And Samuels with his knock. We've got to hope that's not bad. We might concede again here. Livramento goes through. And even after making it 4-3, we completely open up at the back. And although QPR will hang on here, it is back to the drawing board defensively. Out of nowhere, an awful defensive display. And from back-to-back clean sheets, we concede 4 and drop 3 points against one of our playoff contending rivals. As Lecco gets it on the right. I tell you what, we might nick 4-4 here. The ball's in from Cash. Oh, the whistle goes. If we'd have nicked that, that would have been pandemonium. 4-3 to defeat, a very off-colour display. We'll give the lads a bit of leeway for now and just hope it doesn't become 2 in a row. We'll be back in a moment for Birmingham away. The side that we started our tenure against, let's hope it's another victory. I'll see you in a moment. Back for the second of today's double-header, looking to make up for our weekend result, and more importantly, looking to do the double over the side that we played against in our first game with Derby. But regardless of the result today, there will be one big positive, because you can see the message from this morning. Derby announced a new intake of youth players. Now remember, Darren Wassell said, "We haven't got a very good intake, but there was one centre-half from Loughborough who caught the eye." And that man, as it turns out, is Aidan Betts. 1.5 star ability at 16 years of age, 4.5 potential, has the opportunity to become one of the most gifted players through the Derby Academy in recent years. And he has got all the right attributes in all the right places. Got the bravery, so we'll get him in a mentoring group. But for the end of this season, I'm almost thinking about promoting him to the first team. He's got real potential. He could be a superstar. He just needs the right development to steer clear of injuries. And if he can do that, we've got some player on our hands. So Aidan Betts, a brilliant start from the youth intake. And fingers crossed, we can now back it up with a return to winning ways. Birmingham City drifting themselves in 12th place. They drew at the weekend, I guess, because they gained a point. They drew at home to Watford, who are top, actually. So a very good result. And it was only a 95th minute equaliser that prevented them winning. So there are some positives there for the hosts. And we're going to have a few tired legs, because it's only been 3 days. It says everyone's fit, but I'm a bit worried. So what can we do in terms of the squad? I'm just seeing if there's anyone we can rotate in and out. Anyone who's not in great form, perhaps. Jason Knight's been poorer since there's been interest in him. We could look at him. Ben Pearson has been really poor. So I'm going to bring in Bielik from the start. Just give him 45 minutes, an hour. Just as a little warning to Pearson that your place is up for grabs. Messina's been poor at left back. Samuels can come in and have a start today. But aside from that, I'm going to keep it the same. Not too much going on. Not too many changes. And I think we'll stick with the same 18. Just a couple different lads starting to normal. But this is the big game. Birmingham v Derby. We're still only 1 point off the playoffs. Now, can we make sure we stay in contention? Let's go and find out. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. So 2 changes made. Another big game. We've talked about this team before for Birmingham. Semi Ajayi, the skip-up, playing in the Premier League in real life. Not many other familiar names. Ethan Laird, the right back, formerly of Manchester United. And some good players on the bench as well, including those we've managed in previous editions. I'm sure I had Trey Coyle at Torquay at some point. Might have even been at Dorking last year, maybe more recent. Will Ferry we had in a head coach last year when we were managing Ireland, so there are some good players. But let's tell the lads to prove a point, let's get a better performance out of them. And as we head to St Andrews against their defensive 4-3-3, we'd really like to get back in that top 6. The Millwall spot is up for grabs. I think the top 5 is done. Because even though West Brom and Sheffield Wednesday haven't been the most consistent, on their day they're very good. But for us, 6th place is up for grabs, and it's about 4 of us who can get it. As Jacob Hall goes back to Cash. The right back's overlapping, already on a yellow, which I'm a bit concerned about. But he skinned 2 there, into Whittaker. He scored again. Morgan Whittaker is absolutely flying. Couldn't hit a barn door before we joined this club. And now off the left wing, he's become very efficient. And his goal ratio is almost as good as Morton's. 17 minutes gone, no shots for Birmingham. And a fantastic start to this day for Derby County. As it stands, we take our place in 6th with 7 games to go. Fulham holding Millwall in a London derby there. And that at the moment is leaving us in 6th. A fantastic first half performance. We've been really solid. We've not seen anything from Birmingham. And at half time, we lead 1-0. We've just got to make sure that we don't slip up, we don't tire, and that we get those changes on when we need to. Because otherwise, this could be a massive opportunity wasted. Fulham must be winning because they're up to 9th. We've gone 2 points clear of Millwall now. And they are 2-1, up to the hour mark. Nothing happening here. And we're back with Matty Cash on the right again. He's one of the more tired players, but he's been doing really well. Whittaker's exhausted, so I might have to take him off. Cash back to Bielik, who will also need to be replaced soon. Long ball forward by the midfielder for Birmingham. Lenihan will mop up. He's got the keeper with him. He's got the other centre-half. And instead he tries to be clever. Eventually, turns back to Bulker. Out to Matthew Clark. You can see Birmingham not really pressing that high at all. Giving us a chance to play out wide from the back. And Whittaker now can go forward. Can he get one more big run out of him? Into the box, it drops to Morton. It's in for 2. And Morgan Whittaker can now have that rest. We have to keep him fit. We're going to bring on Arvin Appiah or Jesus Medina. I think the wider winger has worked rather than the inverted. So I'm going to stick with Medina. Bielik's going to come off as well and be replaced by Pearson. But with half an hour to go, we lead 2-0. And this is a real good chance to creep into the playoffs. If you get those points on the board, you get ahead. It's very hard for the chasing pack. Of course, the pressure will change for us as well. We don't know how our team will adapt to that. But let's see this one out first. A Hodge free kick blocked by Cash. Excellent work by the right back. Hodge goes back to Williams. They're playing nicely here, Birmingham. Trying to create a good chance as Lowe goes down the left. Into the box, completely unopposed. Good ball in. And Scrab puts it in at the front post. Unmarked by Lenihan there. And that's a really poor bit of play. Max Bird's tired as well. We're going to have to make that third change. And it might be the one thing that costs us here. You can see Hall's knackered as well. We can't take them all off. Maybe we should have rotated more from the start. It's too late to worry about that now though. So Pearson will go into centre midfield. In a holding role, we're going to bring on Jamie Hansen. Bit of experience, proper club player. He's going to be a defensive midfielder on defend. He's going to be solid. He's going to be rooted to the back. And we're just going to try and keep the 2 banks of defensive lines now. The 4 at the back, the holding midfielder and 2 centre mids in front. And we'll work from there. As we've got a throw on the right with Samuels. He's giving it away. It's a really poor throw-in. It's a shame because he's had a solid game as well. But if this costs us 3 points, we're certainly not going to forgive him. Hodge switches the play. Hall's got no legs to chase him. Potts gets it wide. Cuts inside to Craig. Into the box unopposed. It's a brilliant goal. And it's 2-2. It's very similar to our first game in charge against Birmingham. And it's at a very similar run of the season as well. It's come to a time where we've had sort of Saturday, Tuesday for 3 weeks. And we just haven't got the legs across the squad for it. So as it stands, we're 10 to go. We're trying to cling on, but it's a Birmingham corner. Atete's up, head's just over. I'm in a bit of a quandary now. Do we try and hold on for the point? It only leaves us 1 off the playoffs. Millwall have equalised. Blackburn have levelled it up behind us as well. But I just feel like we're sitting ducks if we continue to go forward. There's 5 minutes of stoppage time. I'm going to stick with it. Cash crosses. It's overhit. Medina can't get there. And Amaechi brings it away. It might be the biggest regret I have. What's the centre-half doing? Clark. Amaechi in the end puts it wide. There's 2 minutes of stoppage time to go. Do I do it? I think I do. I don't see any sign of us winning this game. So, deep line playmaker on support for Pearson. Fullbacks on defensive duties for Cash and Samuels. And let's just make sure we get the point. I'm not going to go time wasting on all of that extreme stuff. but I don't want to commit too many men forward. 5 minutes of stoppage time up, and in the end we'll settle for a point. It was a very even game, and we ran out of steam very quickly. And I'm going to have to start thinking about how we rest these lads. I think after this weekend, we've got a 2-week break for the internationals. But a lot of our boys play in the international scene, so it's not going to help massively. Let's go and have a look at our schedule, when we're going to be back and what we're going to do. Morgan Whittaker on absolute fire. We sort of lost our way in the game when he came off. He was a real prospect and he was a real influence for us. And we just don't have the same quality without him on the pitch. So we've praised him for his performance in front of goal. Let's look at that schedule. It's a run of winnable games in theory. If we can get through Preston on Saturday, I'll rest a few boys for one day's training. Then 2 weeks off before the derby away from home. And then apart from the Easter weekend, it's 1 game a week. So hopefully that's when we can shine. The final 2 games of the season are Fulham away and Middlesbrough at home. Fulham just behind us in 9th place, 4 points off at the moment. And Middlesbrough struggling a bit at the other end. 43 points in 18th place, but I'm sure they'll be safe for now. So they're the 2 games we're going to be back for. Hopefully it won't be the end of the season. Fingers crossed we can sneak into the playoffs and have 2 more episodes. If we can do that, you never know. Our 6th season might be a Premier League one, which would be a wonderful achievement. But if you did enjoy this episode, those 2 big games, albeit not the best performances defensively, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the comments as well what you thought of that youth intake prospect. To me, he looked an absolute superstar. We've just got to nurture him through here. Because the way Derby's going at the moment, I could see myself being here 2 or 3 years, really starting to build this club. But of course, it only takes one big offer to come along, one head-turning contract financially, and you never know, you're out of there. So that's what we've got to look out for. But if you want to stay up to date and see how we finish the season, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. You'll get alerts as we release daily content from 2 long-term stories. This one and our Build a Nation with Bangor City. We've got a 5-year review and a transfer special coming in the next couple of episodes from that one, so please do get up to date if you're not already. If you're missing the Scottish action in this series, you can see the live stream series with Dundee United in the eye above. That continues twice a week live on the channel, and there's also a link to the podcast channel as mentioned. Loads of content from the Championship, Derby of course involved in much of that. But thank you so much for your incredible support over here, over there, and on this series too. And I'll see you next time for the final 2 league games. Can we sneak that final playoff spot? I hope you'll join me next time to find out.